Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Planet Coaster Harder Mode. Today is going to be part 11 of our Harder Mode Let's Play, and things are going kind of well. I will say kind of well for the park. We are just about making some money. I've gone ahead and upped the price of 2 of the rides. This roller coaster, what did we call this? Do we ever name this? I feel like we need to name this roller coaster. Tell you what, in the comments below, put in some name suggestions for this coaster and we'll get a name for it for the next episode. Or maybe not necessarily the next episode, but an episode in the future I'll go back and get a name for the coaster. Either way, just leave it in this video. We have this coaster and we up the price of it and also Moist, the log flume, from $10 to $11, and I did that because they're very prestigious rides. This is the appeal and the value of a ride to guests. So basically, if a ride has very high prestige, you can up the price a little bit. So I'm going to up it again to $12 because this has very, very high prestige. The roller coaster actually, does it have the same kind of prestige? What are we looking at here? It actually doesn't, so it's not worth as much. And is it broken down at the moment? No, it's just, it's running a little bit slow. It's possible that some people are saying that, well, no, there's actually a fair few people getting onto that ride. Either way, that's good to see. I didn't realize, well, I sort of realized in the back of my head that Prestige would let me do that, but at the same time, I wasn't paying enough attention to actually go ahead and do it. The whole price thing. Now, something I would like to do that I think could be kind of interesting is I want to go in here and I want to remove a whole bunch of these plants that I have placed down at one point or another, because I like the idea of putting a little path in here. Number one, because it's going to make it easier for my staff to get around, and number two, it's going to make it easier for people to get around as well. And once I'm done with this, I'm also going to set up one of those, some of those schedule things for my mechanics. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but we do need them because there are situations where a ride breaks down and all of my mechanics, even though I have 4 of them, all of them are on the other side of the park and are just not getting to the rides quick enough. And that can be very, very troublesome when a roller coaster breaks down, because the roller coasters, as I'm sure you're aware, are the real money makers of this park. So we do need to make sure that the roller coasters are functioning as well as possible. Now I want to go ahead in here and move this the medical station just a little bit, because that's where I want the path to come through. So we'll use the multi-selection tool. We'll go in like this and just delete all of that junk and see if we can perhaps just get as much of all of this as we can out of there, and then grab the medical station and just shuffle it along a little bit to about there, I reckon. Then the new path, once it's built, can come through this way and connect the 2 sides of the park quite nicely. Now that does look like enough space. It doesn't look like we have enough money though, so let's speed up time a little bit and see why exactly are we losing money? Is this broken down? No. This does seem to be getting less people on it though. Yeah, you don't have enough money to go on it. Maybe we knock that back down to 10. We'll knock the American Arrow back down to 10. I'm wondering if we should get more ATMs in the park as well. I'm wondering if that's maybe part of the problem. I mean, this thing is staying full. This thing at $12 is fine. There's a few people complaining about the length of the queue, but I mean, other than that, that ride is doing completely fine. So that's not so bad. I would really like to see this money recover though, because I need money for this path. I have this great idea, and much like many great ideas, it's being held back by a lack of funding. Oh, that just got very real there for a moment. Okay, so I decided to use this natural path to cut through the middle of the park, because what I can do is put a bunch of bushes and stuff around it to make it feel a little bit overgrown, a little bit claustrophobic. And that is definitely the way this path should feel, considering it is running through the middle of everything in the park. But I really like it. I really, really do. I really like how it turned out. Apart from this bit, because this bit has that sort of awkward little twist in it because I couldn't go any further forward there. The cool thing is, though, if I set it to 10 PM, the people down here we'll get to sort of experience being lit up by the lights on that loop when the coaster eventually heads out, which it's not doing. So that's kind of interesting. I like to think that's pretty cool. So the coaster heads down, and everyone, if we just get in there to a low angle, we can have ourselves a little look. But you know, you can get the you get the whole, you know, the lights all lighting you up like that, and it's pretty cool. Like, you are right beneath the coaster, which I really, really do like how that looks. Just need to get the money to go ahead and put in all of the decoration. And honestly, I think the best way, I keep hitting escape, the best way to do that, the best way to improve things here, I think, is going to be with a $5,000 loan, paying back $250 per month. It's going to take a while to do it. But what I want to do with that money is start a marketing campaign so we can get more adults, but fewer families. That's actually good, because we don't have that many family rides. So more adults, fewer families isn't really too much of a problem for me. What I'd also like to do with that money is just, I guess, touch up this path a little bit. And actually, we also need to get to that, the whole thing of putting the rotor things in there for the mechanics, but we'll do that in a second as well. So let's just get a couple of birch trees in here to sort of just hide this path a little bit. That's kind of what we want to do. It's not a secret path or anything, but it is, you know, it's aesthetically speaking supposed to be a little bit less well kept, which is like, it's a controlled messiness is what we'll call it, because, you know, it's designed to be messy. But it actually takes a lot of effort to make it look messy. Does that make sense? It's like it's like Star Wars, all right? So in the original Star Wars films, all of the stuff in like well, it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but it's sort of like it's in the future as well, is the way it was described. And it's like, it's a worn future. You know, it's not this pristine, chromed sci-fi world. Everything looks like it's been used. Everything has a bit of grime to it. So that was a very specific design choice. And it's the same if you're trying to make like a jungle for a movie set, or you're trying to do anything like that. Yes, it has to look messy and like it's not very well kept, but the effort to make it look like that is, you know, just as much as it would be to build something that looks pristine. Do you get what I mean? Am I rambling about nothing? I always find that stuff interesting. I studied media in college, and I always find like set dressing and all that stuff, and building a scene to be as important, if not more important, than the story being told. So that's why this stuff is fascinating to me. And I know it doesn't matter for Planet Coaster. I know we're not telling a story with our park, but I just figured, you know, it's an interesting conversation point, because you only notice, I think, you really only notice set dressing and stuff like that when it's done badly. If you don't notice it, then the set designers and the costume department and everyone's done their job perfectly. And you often don't give them credit because they've done their job perfectly and you don't notice it to give them the credit. So that's just a really, I know that's such a tangent, I'm so sorry, but I love talking about that stuff, and it's just one of those fascinating things to me anyway, after studying media and just doing what I do. There we go. This is what I'm wanting. We've got some lights in the sides. We have all the trees, all the bushes. This little area is just absolutely perfect for me, and it is just a quick way to get through the middle of the park. And it's noticeable, but not tremendously noticeable, which is what I also like about it. You know, it blends in. It's an interesting space to walk through, especially with that coaster going overhead. Now, let's go ahead and get on with the... Where is it? If we go to staff and we go to mechanics, we want to make a new work roster. So we need to say that this coaster and that ride and that ride... let's see, did I select it? I don't seem to have selected it. There we go. Those rides... and we'll do the cube as well. And let's see, anything else? I guess we'll throw the kickflip in there. So that's going to be the, I guess, roster 1. Roster 1. Save it as, there we go. So this dude is going to be on roster number 1. Which means he's going to maintain those 5 rides only. In fact, I kind of want to go in and edit that roster a little bit. Can I, how do I delete a roster? This is probably how, yeah, so we can edit this. So it does show me what they are, but I want to take the kickflip out of it. So I just want it to go for those 4 rides. In fact, those 3 rides, I think. So if we just select those 3 rides, you can maintain those 3. So we should stay in that area, which means that it's going to be much, much easier for the roller coaster to be maintained. Then I want to select this, and I want to select these 3 rides here, and so that roster 2 is going to maintain those, and we are going to set this guy on roster number 2. Then these guys can just stay free roaming. I'm also going to knock their wage down to $3.25 each, so that we're not paying them a whole heap more. I think I will promote both of you guys. And you seem happy enough with 290, but I'll up you to 300. And I'll cut you guys to 300 and see what happens. Hopefully they won't complain too much, but now that we have those guys trained, everything should be fine there. But that should be fine. So we have the 2 rosters, which should maintain a decent level of maintenance across the majority of the park. We shouldn't see too much trouble, hopefully. So let's speed things up and see what happens. Obviously, paying back the loan is going to cost me a fair bit of money, but hopefully we can go ahead and start earning some of that back. We are dropping money very, very quickly. Rides and tickets is apparently what's costing us a lot, which is kind of annoying. Again, it's one of those things I never quite understand. Why do rides and tickets just never seem to make all that much money? Now that said, I would like to make sure that everything is open. I'd also like to pause real quick because I do want to make sure we have an ATM there. And do we have an ATM up this end? We do. But I'm feeling like we should maybe throw an ATM into here. I think this would be a pretty good spot for a little ATM because it's right by a ride that I really want people to keep on using. So that seems like a good spot for one. So if I just go grab you and duplicate and rotate it once, I can throw it into that space just like that. And it costs a little bit of money to do, but I like that. I like that we have this ATM. Let's rotate you around a little bit so this tree's not... that's fine. There we go. So the ATM can just live there. And I think it works. Hopefully people are going to go ahead and start using that. Now it does look like we are also making a little bit of cash. Park management is eating up a lot of it. Rides and tickets just it's costing so much. It's very tempting to do more marketing and get more adult groups in here because we are getting, you know, noticeably more adult groups in here. Maybe it's worth getting more teen groups as well. I really don't know. A couple of people there immediately going for the ATMs. A few people walking around looking like they also really need to pee. So maybe we should look into that as well. Into getting more bathrooms about the place. Now here's something I'm gonna do to both my roller coaster, and I've already done it to the log flume as well. I've increased or decreased the amount of time between inspections. I've increased the frequency of inspections is what I should be saying. And my hope there is that, as you can see, you know, this guy, I thought he was going to go in and inspect the ride there. He didn't. But what I'm hoping that does is means that inspections will go ahead and keep the ride working better, basically. Now, it hasn't been refurbished in 173 months. It's going to be a bit expensive to do that. It might be worth refurbishing the ride. The reliability is average at the moment. There is an inspection due in 5 minutes. And this one has an inspection due in 4 minutes with, again, average reliability. Recent downtime 8%. The wear and tear is there. I would assume the wear and tear will... I assume when that's empty, that's when it breaks down. So I would assume that an inspection will improve that. This guy is not due to inspect it yet. but he should fairly soon. Just head over this way and give it a quick inspection. 1 minute until inspection. So he's keen. He's in here waiting. I want to see what inspection does. I've never actually watched a ride. It's a minute overdue. There he is. There he is. Come on, buddy. You're late. So he's going to float on in here. As he does. Nice one there, mate. And he's having a look at the thing. He's inspecting it. He's tinkering with things. And did that do anything? I'm not sure if it did. Oh, there we go. So yeah, the wear and tear goes back up. So the inspections are good because it means that the rides are maintained, basically. It's more frequent maintenance. So the coasters, the big money makers, should be doing all right. Now I'm gonna fire you. We're gonna fire you because you're very Christmassy, mate. And while I'm gonna keep the Christmas decorations up, it is not past Christmas, and I'm sorry about this, but yeah, you have to go. He's not happy about that. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Even with the big grin on his face, it's hard not to feel sorry for him. But I mean, you are a bit too Christmassy, you know? Mate, right, here. You go down to the job agency, and say that I said I'll rehire you if you get a different car. He's not listening. I'd bring him back if he got a different costume. I just don't think he will. I don't really think he's interested. Let's see. So this thing's wear and tear isn't as great. Yeah, this is gonna need, this is probably gonna need replaced. Well, it doesn't really. 170, that's over 10 years. This thing's been here for like 10 and a half years. No, 10 and a half years? No. This thing's been here for like 15 years, nearly. What, 173 months, so 12, 120. Yeah, 15 years, I think. I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to sit and try and do maths off the top of my head. I know it's not complicated maths, but I'm also trying to commentate, and it makes it a bit... It's complicated when you're trying to commentate, all right? Anyway, we are making a little bit of money in the bottom left there, so I would like to spend just a little bit of that on going ahead and... Ooh, this guy's workload. Roster 2 is keeping you fairly... Yeah, you're enjoying your low workload. I feel like roster 2 might need updated. So let's throw another ride into roster 2 then. Let's give you those rides. So that'll be roster number 2. That should be fine. So entertainers. Let's get a new entertainer. Let's get a new one completely. We have a King Coaster already. We had the Christmas one, but we got rid of him. Let's get Foxy. Let's get Foxy in here. Foxy's actually a interesting character. I really do love the art style of this game. Like, just all of like the mascots and stuff all look interesting. And like they're all so, you like Chief Beef. I mean, granted, he's just a big burger. Is that offensive to Chief Beef? You're just a big burger, nothing more. Is that offensive? It might be. Either way, it's kind of accurate. Then you get where's the other guy? Where's King Coaster? Is he back here? Hold on a minute. Oh, there's a lot of people using this path. Good lord. Where is the big bull? He's supposed to be around here somewhere. How can I not find him? He's a giant golden ball. This shouldn't be complicated. Right, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. All staff. Entertainers. King Coaster. How did I not see you in that crowd? Either way, you know, it's offensive to say that this guy's just a big ball. It might be. Granted, he is a big golden ball, so maybe that is actually offensive in his case. Either way, he seems to be loving his job, which is great. So we'll leave him to do his thing. Foxy's gonna go around and do her thing. And let's see. If I get... I guess I should do some research, shouldn't I? Or have I placed all of the rides that we currently have? I know I've placed all of them except the teacups. So, I guess we do need to do some research. So let's see what we have here. We could get a new thrill ride. I don't think we want more family rides. We could look into more track rides and new coasters and all that stuff. New food places, get Mexcellente. But I think I'm going to spend my money on a new thrill ride, which is going to knock my money down a fair bit. $1,500 per month is obviously not something we can necessarily afford, but it is only going to be for the 1 month. So we should be fine. We should be totally fine going in and doing this research. Even though, like I said, it's going to knock our money down, but we should be able to bounce back from it. And what I'll also do whilst I have the money, again, this is going to be something that knocks our money down, but I do want to go in and I think I do want to keep those banner adverts going and auto-renewing. And I think I also, ooh, more teens but fewer adults. Let's get more teenagers as well. So we're spending $2,000 a month on bringing in more, hold on. I need to make sure I've done this right. Bringing in more adults, but fewer, yeah. So basically more adults, more teens, fewer families. And that should be fine. That should be completely fine. Hopefully. Obviously, like I said, money in the bottom left, ignore that. That money is going to plummet for the next while. But we should be able to make this work. Seriously, is your performance just like standing there pretending to drink coffee? Is that it? That's the easiest performing job I've ever seen. Granted, I guess the performance doesn't just stop there, does it? Because you have to maintain the... Where the hell did you go? There she is. You have to maintain the walk and all that, and like the personality of the... I guess it's a bit more complicated than I'm giving it credit for. Even so, I feel like that's one of the easier entertainer jobs in the park at the moment. Ooh, over 1,000 people. Not bad. What are the current challenges? Achieve a monthly profit from rides of $500. I mean, it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. But I'm assuming it wants like an average monthly profit from rides, which at the moment seems to be dropping as opposed to staying above 500. So we'll see what happens with that. Actually, you know what? Looking at that, we might be able to do this. I'm not going to stare at it though, because it's just gonna not work for me. What was the other one? The scenery rating of like 300, 200. We're not far off on that. We're actually not far off on that at all. So if I was to add a bit more scenery, I mean, there's a lot of it already. There's a lot of scenery. But if I was to add a bit more, I might be able to do that. Now it's the end of May. It is the 31st of May, year 26. It is now the 1st of June. Did we do it? Yes, we did. There we go. Beautiful stuff right there. All right, how goes this this research? Almost done, which is good because I'm not going to be able to afford the ride itself, but we haven't been losing as much money as we could have been. So we get this ride. We stop the research. We might be okay. Let's reveal it and see what we got. We have Gears of Fear. All right. So the thing is, you can't say like we got the Gears of Fear. Doesn't sound as good. You have to go Gears of Fear. And you have to get that like the real emphasis on fear. That's literally the only way you can say that. So Gears of Fear is $3,160. That is a lot of money, which is not really ideal. Not much a fan of going ahead and taking out another loan for that, but at the same time, oh man, we have 75 months left on this one. This one's gonna take a while. I'm tempted. I am tempted to, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this loan. We're gonna take that loan. We're gonna pause. We're gonna pay off this loan. And we'll say that we're done with that. So that loan is done. This one will take a few months to pay off, but we do have some money, so this is fine. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get the Gears of Fear. It's a flat ride. It's a thrill ride. It's going to have to go... We really don't have the space for this thing, do we? Where am I going to put this? There really isn't the room for it. Maybe back there? And maybe we start building a new area of the park back in this zone. I don't know. I actually don't know. That's interesting. I also don't want to put it too far away because then people are going to be like, oh, I can't be bothered. I can't really be bothered going out to that ride, to be honest. It's a bit too far, actually. Why don't we just put it here, I suppose? I guess here works. And it fits in kind of nicely as well, so we'll shuffle it along that way a little bit. And the Gears of Fear can go like there. I wonder if can I get the queue down between that? I really hope I can get the entrance down in there. We're gonna find out. Let's place the exit in that spot. And then the path for this thing comes along this way. Just the whole way along here. And, ooh. I'm not certain this is gonna... Oh, it does fit. There is a space right there. That works. That's perfect. Look at that. That's gonna be a little bit of a difficult path to decorate. But I like it. I really like that. So that's not bad. That's the Gears of Fear. It's got a 12% Q scenery rating, which is, I mean, we're gonna fix that. And 100%. The queue for this ride is, as always, a little bit overgrown, but I actually really like this one because you can see the ride on your right the whole time you're queuing up for it. So that is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and open the Gears of Fear. And obviously, I mean, hopefully it's going to be a relatively popular one. It does nicely add to the entrance of the park. It is another ride that is going to be, you know, up and spinning and doing all the stuff it does. But we're also, oh, are you guys, no, you're not going for the Gears of Fear. Are you going for the, nope. Is anyone really going to go for the Gears of Fear? I'm not really seeing anyone go for it right now. No, there we go. There's someone going for it. There's one guy that's keen. Who is that? What's this guy's name? Who are you? Oh, sorry. It's Eula, Big Bucks, Clevenger, whatever. That's one person. One person going for the Gears of Fear. Which is definitely an interesting looking ride. Certainly not one for me. That's what I'll say. Certainly not a ride for me. Either way, ladies and gents, those trees are floating. Those trees are all floating a little bit. Either way, ladies and gents, I am going to leave it there for today. I would say that things are going okay for the park at the moment. I would say that we are still trying to battle the way that harder mode works, because obviously we don't yet have the most stable income possible. Now that said, it's getting better. I think the maintenance, the rosters, I feel like the maintenance rosters are going to be helping things a little bit. I feel like the fact that we do have, you know, regular inspections on the two most popular rides are a pretty good thing. This thing is due an inspection in a couple of minutes. This thing is going to need refurbished eventually, though. Same with this one. This one especially. This one is going to need some proper refurbishment. We just don't have the money for it. But we will have eventually. We will get that money eventually. So, yeah, with that in mind, thank you kind of for watching. If you liked the video, like the video. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.